Do you have any guarantees by either President Morsi or the prosecutors in Egypt that you won't be arrested when you land on Egyptian soil because of the charges against you?
I'm not waiting to get guarantees from anybody. The only guarantee is that I'm in the clear. My stand is 100% clear, and the court will prove that. Hence, the verdict is going to be the guarantee. So my return doesn't depend on guarantees from this person or that. My stand is clear and correct, and I will return to continue my political life again.
People want to know when you're willing to go back to Egypt. You're not being clear whether it's tonight or within a month. When do you plan to go back to Egypt, though, to face the charges?
I will not go back to stand in court. The correctness of my position will show during the hearing of the cases, even without me being there. I trust that this is going to be apparent in front of the court, God willing.
President Morsi used the Sinai attacks to make what many see as a bold move to remove the top tier of the military, including Field Marshal Tantawi. Many were quite surprised when he did it, but it seems to have stabilized the situation in Egypt, not to rile up the situation. It takes away the uncertainty and the power struggle between the military and the executive branch. Do you think it was a right decision now that we look back?
The decision of the changes in leadership structure is an absolute right of the President. I don't claim that there was a mistake at all. But this doesn't at all mean that it is stable in Cairo or in Egypt now. The decision is one thing, and the stability and calmness that is required in Egypt now is another thing. This stability has not been reached yet.
You have concerns about stability, but in fact, the financial markets have voted favorably for President Morsi with a 26% gain since he came into office. Tourism receipts and visitors have shot up nearly a third in the first half of 2012. Those are signs of stability, not chaos in Egypt.
I don't agree with you at all that there are enough indications to show that stability was restored in Egypt. The situation is very unstable, and the coming days will prove that. I think Egypt right now is still witnessing tensions, and even bigger ones than those we have seen in the previous month and prior to it. That is for sure. And you can test and measure these issues with your own tools, whose accuracy I completely trust.
You have very strong concerns about the Muslim Brotherhood consolidating power. There's the same concerns that people had before when President Mubarak was in power, and you served for him. Why do you have these concerns for the Muslim Brotherhood that you didn't have for President Mubarak?
The uprising took place to change dissatisfactory situations. There was a plan or a probability of a plan to pass down power, which a lot of people opposed. All of these phenomena that we have been suffering from are now replaced with even worse ones by the Muslim Brotherhood, the party and the movement. To the extent that the Egyptian public opinion says that the damage that was caused by the regime in 30 years was equal to the damage caused by the Muslim Brotherhood in just 100 days.
I'd like to move on to economic issues here, and the IMF is coming at the end of the month to perhaps clear a $4.8 billion loan. Does anything stand in the way of getting that IMF funding? Do you think that the reform plans put forward by President Morsi will suffice to get clearance of that money?
I wish to be clear in my answer, and I don't want to direct my criticism to one person or another, but I will speak for the benefit of Egypt. I was upset with the way or the style by which the new regime is currently administering the economy of the country, and more generally its policies, because of a lack of experience. There is no experience. And I am not underestimating the Muslim Brotherhood movement. The Muslim Brotherhood is a religious movement that created a new body to talk in politics, and that is the Freedom and Justice Party. But originally the movement was religious and is not qualified for political action. This is why I ask that such a loan that is very huge and which is going to be a burden on generations to come in Egypt must be studied by all economists in Egypt, and not only the economists of the Muslim Brotherhood.